It's rumored that the Carolina Panthers. Damn, I don't even like how soft I came in.
Where's
My
our
fault.
Christmas carol? What was
No,
going
no,
on?
no. This is just a clip. This is just a clip,
Oh.
real quick. I got us on the clock. Don't worry. That shit didn't even go off last episode. It didn't even go off. I don't know what happened, but we were just going and going. Pretty much, long story short, the Carolina Panthers want Ben Johnson, and I want to know how y'all feel about that because I'm gonna give my opinion and take it for whatever it's worth. Y'all shit on me weekly for my opinions and my stances on certain things, so it's not gonna make me feel no type way or nothing like that. But I would just say that it's a sense of confusion to me because I don't really know where this infatuation with Ben Johnson has come from. Don't get me wrong, the Detroit Lions offense looks very good. They look great, actually, I'll say, this season. But as far as his resume and what he's done, I mean, I'm really not 100% tweaked nor sold. I feel as though there could potentially be better options on the market. There are a lot of fans that would rather have Bill Belichick over Ben Johnson. Now, am I saying that I'm one of those people? Absolutely not. But it seems as though the Carolina Panthers and Dave Tepper are 100% sold on Ben Johnson and pursuing him to be their next head coach. And I wanted just to get y'all's feedback. It's been a story for the past 2 or 3 weeks that we just simply haven't touched on the pod in detail. So I just wanted to make a quick little video and just a quick, 20-minute clip or whatever may have you with this conversation being had. And so how do y'all feel about it? Because for me, I'm not sold.
Honestly, in all transparency, I don't know enough about Ben Johnson as a coach to really say he would be a bad coach. What I will say to a reason why I will potentially look in another direction or exercise all of our options and not just be sold on this guy, Ben Johnson, is because I've seen the type of coaches that our team responds well to. And I just feel like Ben Johnson doesn't carry that attitude as a Steve Wilkes. I've seen this team respond under Steve Wilkes in a way that no team should respond under just because, like, at that point they had nothing to play for, really. Everything was going to shit. And then I think it just took a different guy like Steve Wilkes with the personality he brought, with the respect that he demanded, with the cultural values that he brought to the Carolina Panthers, to Charlotte. I seen the players respond very well under him and miss the playoffs by one game. And I just don't think Ben Johnson has that in him. Like I said, I don't know too much about the guy. And I would just attribute a lot of the Lions' success to Dan Campbell more so than Ben Johnson. And just because we've seen the fiery attitude that Dan Campbell has, we've seen how he acts in the press conferences, how he demands a certain level of play out of his players, how he demands respect on and off the field, how he sounds delusional going to bat for his guys even when everybody else is shitting on him, how we know that the Lions have been a laughingstock of the NFL for a long time, and Dan Campbell has took the time to rearrange that organization, to actually bring some excitement to that organization, to have them playing competitive football. I think that all goes to Dan Campbell more so than Ben Johnson. So that's why I would say I would rather exercise all options before we land on Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely need to do a proper coaching search, 100%. But I was just listening to a video of Ben Johnson coaching at the Senior Bowl just because I wanted to kind of hear how he talked, how he coached, kind of get a vibe for what this guy was doing. And he seems like a Mike McDaniels type of guy, like personality-wise. He's smaller in stature, kind of soft-spoken to a degree, like kind of playful and joyful in his like interactions with these players. Now, mind you, it was the Senior Bowl, so these are like prospects and everything, and you're trying to coach college kids. But he actually seems kind of like a good coach. He seemed like he had pretty good command of what was going on in the offense, or what was going on as like far as coaching these players. And when there were mistakes made, he wasn't that same playful, joyful guy that he seemed to be early on. He was actually getting on these guys' ass. And when the quarterback made a throw to a receiver and the receiver didn't get under it and catch it, the quarterback looked back at him and he was like, no, he's got to go make that play. Like, you keep throwing it like that, he's got to go make that play. He seems like a guy that would actually be good for Bryce's development, being that he's offensive-minded. I've heard a lot of people commend his play calling. Now, we've seen Detroit's offense look a lot better than it has in years past, and I don't know how much of that is to give credit to Dan Campbell and how much of it to give to Ben Johnson. But just based off of what I just listened to and what I just watched from him, and some other stuff that I had researched on the guy prior, he doesn't seem like he would be a bad option, but that doesn't mean that he is the option. And there definitely needs to be a proper coaching search to find the guy who's going to be able to get this job done. Because whoever's taken on this job of turning around the Carolina Panthers organization has a Herculean task in front of them. I mean, this is an insane job that has to be done. You have no draft capital, and you barely have any talent on the roster. You're going to have to do a hell of a job coaching. You have to hide a lot of fucking holes.
Yeah, and I think that all of those things could very much well be true about Ben Johnson. Like I said, I haven't done my due diligence in doing the thorough research on him, but I think that Dave Tepper and Scott Fitterer would be doing this organization a disservice if they are already to the point where they're sold on hiring Ben Johnson.
They 100% would.
Because, honestly, it would be fucking terrible, and we would be in the same situation that we're in this year. Because there's no way that you should be sold on hiring a head coach already, and the season's not even fucking over yet. Because you can't even talk to guys until the season is over. So,
but they did
like
have
a second round in the playoffs. I believe
they did have one
like
interview.
That.
It's not like they haven't talked to him before though. They have brung him in for an interview, and he felt like he wasn't ready for a head coaching job, which JJ fucking hates. I think that's a hard decision to make. Turning down a head coaching opportunity in the NFL, saying that you don't believe you're ready. So I would have questions. I would ask him, and if I were to bring him back in for an interview, I would want to know what makes him believe he's ready now.
Well, my thing would be, was that the case, or did he simply maybe not want to
this
coach
situation
right
under Dave Tepper?
And that's another question too. And I think that's the other part of this conversation. What kind of coach wants to come in here and work under Dave Tepper? Outside of, like, to me, the people who would find this opportunity most attractive is like a Jim Caldwell, is a coach who's on his way, who's bounced around the league, hasn't really seen too much success as an NFL head coach, and know he's on his way out and wants one last bag, because David Tepper's going to give that shit up, and that shit's going to be guaranteed, and you might get fired halfway through the season, but you'll still be getting paid.
But we as fans, we don't need that shit. That absolutely can't happen, because the same thing happened with Frank Wright. And
you don't want to see that, but I'm saying who finds this opportunity attractive, though.
Yeah, and I think that, like, bringing up Bill Belichick is a good point, because I think he would be, I don't know all of the coaches that are on the market, but he would be one of the coaches that I know for sure is going to come in and do his own thing regardless of what the fuck Dave Tepper says. Like,
I don't know if that would be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, structure-wise, like, based off of what we've known Dave Tepper to do in the conversations, how hands-on he has been with the organization, that will fill one problem where we would know that, okay, like, you're not in the background running this shit. You and Nicole don't have shit to do with this. This is solely on Bill Belichick, and I don't have to think about, oh, is this Frank Wright calling the plays? Oh, is this Thomas Brown calling the plays? Or, oh, is Dave Tepper making this decision? Or is Bill Belichick making this decision? Like, I can have the clear mind knowing that whatever we put on that field, whatever plays we run, however this team is orchestrated and ran, that's a direct correlation to Bill Belichick, and Dave Tepper's bitch-ass hands is not on it. That would give me that sense of,
I mean, this is why I would even go a step further and say, because if I had to choose between EJ and Bill Belichick, I'm picking between EJ. So that's why this whole situation is a little confusing to me personally, because I don't understand why, even by the Panthers' own admittance, during the blueprint, I believe it was episode 2, everybody in the NFL believes that Ejiro Evero was up for a head coaching job at the end of the season. So why would you even allow that guy to walk out of the building?
Yeah, he damn sure will be now. He has
a top 3 defense with a bunch of guys that came from Food Lion and FedEx. Niggas have not been healthy for the Carolina Panthers. He's been down at least 2 of his top 4 or 5 players all season. He lost his middle linebacker, week 3, week 4, something like that.
Lost Brian Burns week 1.
Yep, lost motivated Brian Burns after week 1.
JC.
Lost J.C. Horn, had been without J.C. Horn for about, 12, 13 games.
He lost Xavier Woods in one of those time frames.
Yeah, lost Von Bell as well. So it's just like, it gives me cause for pause, man. And when we talking about a leader, when we're talking about a guy that is dedicated to changing around the culture of this team, I think that EJ would be a better choice. However, if you're trying to protect your investment, which I believe this whole Ben Johnson shit is, in protecting Bryce Young and trying to make sure that you get the best out of him, then I guess you do go with a more offensive-minded guy and a younger guy that potentially resonates more with Bryce Young. But in that same breath, why can't you just bring in a quarterback coach or an offensive coordinator that does the same thing and give EJ the job still?
Can I pose this question to you, and then let me get your opinion on this. So, first part, who would you say are the top coaches in the league currently? Give me 5. Give me your top 5 coaches.
In what aspect?
Top 5 coaches in the NFL. That's the question.
Okay. No particular order. I'm going to say McDaniels from
Miami.
Yep.
I'll help you. Andy Reid.
Yeah, definitely. No question.
John Harbaugh.
No question. Shanahan, no question.
Yep.
Those
would be my 4 for sure.
That would be
That's
4. Yeah, we agree on that. I would still have to have a conversation about Tomlin, even though the Steelers look like shit.
Absolutely. I would agree with that.
Still have to have a conversation about McVay, even though, whatever. Dan Campbell definitely be on that list.
Oh, we're going 10?
No, there's 5.
No, I'm just holding them up. So what I'm doing, what I'm holding up right here, I'm holding up which coaches are offensive, like offensive-minded head coaches, and which ones are defensive. And right now I don't know where the fuck to put Dan Campbell, honestly, because I don't really know his philosophy. He was a tight end.
Yeah, but I would.
So I would
that's
kind
tough.
of put him in the middle. Like, I didn't really know where to put him.
Because he's more so of like, I don't give a fuck what side of the ball you play. Like, you're going to play this way. Like,
Right.
You're going to play with that fiery attitude. So
But he's more of a defensive guy to me.
He has
more
defensive guy energy.
Yes, defensive guy personality.
Yeah, but he was also a tight end, so he's got that nasty, like.
Yeah, very true.
So I don't know where to really.
So what do we come up with? Yeah. So what do we come up with? 4 offensive
and 2 defensive. So me imposing that question, I just also know, based off the rules and regulations of the NFL, we hear it all the time from every defensive player in the league. The game is tailored towards the offense now. This is a league that's going in the direction of offense. The rules are all in favor of the offense. Everything revolves around points in the NFL. Now, it's no longer a defensive league. So with that, you probably want, if you're going to stay on pace and stay on track with the rest of the league, you kind of have to go offense. Like, you kind of have to go an offensive-minded head coach. But you don't pick the bitch-ass nigga from college, and you don't pick him from a fucking team that fired him halfway through the season. You have to go for one of these guys who has one of these offensive minds that is revolutionary. One of these game change, like McDaniels came from the Shanahan tree. Shanahan, phenomenal offensive-minded coach. McVay changed the game when he came in with all his motions and everything. Andy Reid, one of the best offensive play callers that we've ever seen. You have to kind of go offense in today's NFL. So that's the only reason I say don't discredit Ben Johnson and maybe kind of pump the brakes on EJ. Because you might not want to go in that direction. It's great for the attitude, and if we think about what the Panthers have been in the past, they kind of are built on that defense. They're supposed to be a nasty defense, but that's just kind of not where the league's at anymore. It's hard to be a nasty defense in today's league. You can't hit anymore.
I can agree with that, but I also think that there's a chance you can't have both. But in this situation, I don't know if you get both because if EJ's up for a head coaching job, I don't see why he stays if he gets that opportunity. Like, I think that it would be nice to go and get an offensive-minded coach.
Wasn't it EJ's wife that said they were already fired? Or
no, that was Thomas Brown.
Thomas Brown. Okay,
yeah, I mean that nigga's good as gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
We didn't even need her to say that.
Yeah.
So
she just caused the argument for herself in the crib that she didn't even need to.
For some reason, I was thinking that was EJ's wife that was saying that, but
they're just both black. Yeah, that's your white side coming out a little bit.
No, I legitimately thought it was EJ's wife. Like, them niggas do look alike though.
Oh, the fuck.
I really don't. I don't even know what EJ looked like. I'm gonna be honest with you, but but I definitely but yeah, no, that's my thought process in posing that question and bringing that to y'all, and just kind of seeing what you all thought about that, because I do think offense is the way to go, and you have to get the right guy, and I don't think Ben Johnson is necessarily a bad choice. Just stay away from Kellen Moore. I'm super against Kellen Moore in all of this. If that is the choice,
Kellen Moore
that is just not.
Yeah, that can't be.
And Brandon Staley.
I mean, that wasn't even a fucking thought.
I mean,
I
don't know why you think it's not. Given
what we've done, given Tepper's track record,
you can't rule shit out at this point.
Very true.
If Brandon Staley becomes the next coach of the Carolina Panthers, scrap this podcast. Y'all boys go find a new team.
Yeah, I might call it quits because
it's wraps. It's over.
He's one of the few coaches that if we get them, I don't know how we'll be able to watch the team. I'll be honest.
I'm not mad at that. Not mad at it.
Because if you go and make a decision like that, then you're clearly trying to sabotage everything.
Yeah, and you're not serious about winning. My question, and this is kind of in wrapping, but we can, I mean, if we have to go over, we can. But got 3 minutes left on the clock, but I don't understand. I guess the reason why I'm hesitant about Ben Johnson is because I really just don't understand where the hype is coming from.
One more question, sorry. Brandon Staley's a fucking defensive coach, right? Like, that's what his background is, in defense. That's what he was supposed to be.
Is it? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he comes from, like, a defensive coaching tree. And the last time we saw him coach,
they got fucking 60-some points
by the fucking Raiders.
Yeah, actually he is, because he talked about calling the defense.
Yeah, he is a defensive coach.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and they got 63 hung up on them by the fucking, who's their quarterback?
David O'Connell.
Yeah, fucking O'Connell. Yeah. Like, are you shitting me?
And the thing is, Brandon Staley has pieces on that defense.
Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Derwin James,
Kenneth Murray,
Asante
Samuel Jr. I mean, that defense
J.C. Jackson.
That defense has fucking had pieces, and he just fucking pissed it away.
Yeah. So in other words, if he comes, I might be out.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Kellen Moore. And
I mean him too.
Yeah.
I'll add that nigga's name to the list too. Staley.
Yeah.
It might be a wrap for me.
Yeah.
And then Shamik's theory would be correct.
He would have to go and announce his other theory on me, because I don't know if I could. I don't know if I.
And I would do the extra shit like I've been seeing all these other niggas do. Do a long ass fucking post, long ass fucking transfer portal post style about me taking my talents to the Baltimore.
I mean, you have to. You almost have to at that
Simple
point.
Simple as that.
Y'all already know where I'm going.
So you want to see some wins?
I don't know why. Them niggas don't look the best right now.
I mean, that shit don't matter. If them niggas are in the playoffs, I'm giving them a chance against anybody.
Yep.
Because that motherfucker 15.
Fair enough. Why are we gassing Ben Johnson if that nigga has the weapons that he has, and he's coming to a lesser quarterback with lesser weapons and a bullshit offensive line? Why is the belief that he'll be the one that can turn this shit around?
I think people have been they kind of like his play calling. That's kind of the vibe I've been getting just in my very light research on the guy. But apparently a lot of people are crediting him with Detroit's offensive success. And they say he's, like, schematically, he's scheming these guys up very well. I mean, Jared Goff threw for like 5 fucking touchdowns the other day. I mean,
Yeah. I would say it's unfair to say, Like, obviously, he's coming to a lesser situation, but I don't think there's going to be any coach that we can get this year that's going to come in and turn this thing around immediately. Like, we're going to see some improvement, but honestly, we don't have, like, the capital, one, and we just don't have, like, the resources to make it a big turnaround. Like, I think any coach that comes in, this is going to be a 2 to 3 year, like, project.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it has to – I think we can't really get too deep into the coaching search without having a new GM.
I agree. But at the same time, I mean, I gave you my theory last week about how I felt about that and allowing your head coach to bring in allow your new head coach to bring in a new GM. But the problem with that is we don't even know if there will be a situation where we need a new GM.
And that's really the problem because
that's
so
not
long as Scott is still in that making decisions on player personnel, I mean.
But, I mean, you did say that you don't – it will pose no reason to fire him now, but I need something that is – that you need to hint at something that I know the nigga going to get fired. Like, I need some kind of hints. I need some kind of sign.
I feel
and
like
right
the
now,
hint that you got was Scott Fitterer saying he's gotten no confirmation that he'll be here. He's got no assurance that he'll have a job next season. I think that's as close as you're going to get.
That was reported by The Athletic, too.
Because, like, I also feel like at the end of the day, you know, Dave Tepper goes and, like, gets on his fucking knees for Scott and, like, jerks him off or something, and Scott records it because he hasn't. No, because Scott hasn't been fired yet. So why haven't you been fired? I got some dirt on the owner.
Yeah. That's true.
I got some dirt on the owner.
Oh.
Or maybe, you know, Dave Tepper's a cuck and he let Nicole get fucked by Scott and he's got that on him. Who knows? Who knows?
Wow.
Well, I would like never mind, because I feel like we've already done so much damage through this podcast that we just simply would never have a relationship with the team. So fuck it, I might as well say it. If that's the case, I would like to be in line. I'm not gonna lie to you.
We are not affiliated with the Carolina Panthers in any way. We are just fans.
I'm not gonna lie. They already know the way we be
We're
talking.
Just a fan page that
know.
just reacts as fans do. We have no affiliation with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, but soon we need a fucking deal. I ain't gonna lie. We need a deal soon. I guess 2-3 more years. Y'all gonna make it? Never mind. Don't even answer it. don't even answer.
Well,
Never mind.
let's see who's the play caller next year. Then we can get a better answer.
Yeah, I don't think I can stomach another season like this.
Yeah, this shit has been brutal. I'm not gonna lie. This shit has been very brutal.
This shit's lame I mean, at this point, Dave Tepper, you're fucking with my money because my state can't even bring in proper revenue because nobody wants to come to this bitch to watch a game. You're fucking with the taxpayer dollars.
He's saying shit very sassy. And you see the way he keep moving his hand around and
fucking
shit?
with the taxpayer
What the fuck
dollars.
is wrong with that nigga, yo?
Because it just, you know, I just got to let it know. I just got to let it be known.
Be embarrassing. Fair enough. Cool. Well, make sure you tune in every Wednesday and Friday. There probably won't be a game preview this week. Actually, yeah, just tune in on Wednesdays from now on for the rest of the season because the game previews, after what we did last week, we're at the very bare minimum taking this week off for game preview just for time purposes because, I mean, if y'all want to hear that episode, man, I'm telling you.
Cut it.
Send me, yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, send me money, and I got you. And then y'all can give us feedback on if y'all like it or not. And if y'all do, then we'll get some shit jumping.
Locker room.
Because the G2S network is a lot more than just FPFO. I will tell y'all that.
Yeah, it gets wicked.
I would have gave G2S. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yeah.